Have this conversation with Ayobami Olatunji, an analyst with financial derivatives company. Hi, Ayobami. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. So we have the ability as Nigeria, and but are we meeting up without 10% global production?
Yes, we produce, but we have very little to export. And this is because we consume more than we produce. And another thing to note is that a lot of plantain farmers are into subsistence farming. So production is not very optimized. So one thing we can do differently is to have more yields per hectare, right? Optimizing production and maximizing supply available to export. So when we can have enough supply to meet domestic demand, then we can have, the surplus of left to export. And another thing is the fact that we lose a good portion of um, production, which is around 10 to 15% of plantain production to post-harvest losses due to spoilage. And plantain is a very perishable product. So we just have very little time from the point of harvest before it spoils. So one thing we can take advantage of is investing in cold chain infrastructure to preserve the shelf life of plantain. And another thing we can do differently is to process more plantain so that we can capture higher value in the export markets. For example, we have plantain chips, plantain flour, industrial starch products. So these are things we can definitely optimize for so that we can contribute more to the export markets and have more supply available.
All right. So what's stopping us actually from maximizing, putting up all of these structural, operational things that we need to put in place to optimize our production and even our exports?
Well, stabilizing supply is definitely the first step. So, because of the seasonal supply constraints, like right now, we're in the steepest part of the planting cycle, so supply is very limited. And to process planting, you need, consistent supply. So, yes, I think maximizing production and investing in that coaching infrastructure to, you know, store plantain so that it doesn't spoil and so we can have that constant supply available for processing. So yeah, that's very necessary.
So much, Ayobami, for that. And we do hope that we would go beyond the rhetorics and actually put some of these things in place.